You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
If you try to remember, you will lose. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
All the fighters that ever set foot on this planet, I'm the only world champion, United States national champion. I'm a two-time national kata champion. I was never beat in kata. Be proud of it.
The Action Martial Arts Power Hour.
All right, welcome to the Action Martial Arts Power Hour. We're here with, of course, our host, Alan Goldberg, and our special guest, the Lady Dragon Cynthia Rothrock. How you guys doing this evening?
Not
Doing
bad.
great.
Good. Glad to have you on, Cynthia. You know, Alan was, pumping this up, and I got really excited to have you on because your background in martial arts, especially, you know, with what you have to contribute to this show, because I'm sure Alan is going to go through a lot of things, and you're going to, echo his thoughts. But you know, it kind of brings a lot of credibility to everything. We have credibility with everything that we're doing, but it's always good to have something extra. So now that I said that, Alan, chime in.
Well, we were in the green room. We were talking. Cynthia had just came back from Russia. And Cynthia, let's give a little bit about that conversation and elaborate a little more.
Right. Well, we went over to Moscow, and they had a Tula Action Film Festival, and Adrian Paul, Matthias Hughes, and myself were invited over to get an award, and they screened one of the pictures that we all did, and it was a great time. Alexander Nevsky brought us over, and he's also trying to get together a film that he wants to do to use us in, so he also brought us over to meet some people that could possibly finance the film for him. So we were there for two reasons. But we had a blast, treated wonderful. The little town of Tula was so cute, and a lot of laughs there.
Yeah, I saw the pictures too. Was it a little cold while you were there?
You know what? The first 3 days we were there, it was really hot. And then the next three, it turned really cold. So it was kind of bizarre. It almost went from hot summer to, okay, all of a sudden we're into winter, and it was raining, and we didn't have heavy coats, and we're like, So it was a change, like drastic, day to day.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so
like
remember
New York
we did that. Yeah, well, we went up, Cynthia went up, I think it was like the tip of Canada up in New York. Remember we took that boat ride and we all got drenched in there?
Oh, yeah, we were out on the water and it started pouring raining.
Yeah, and the cold sun, we got freezing cold from a beautiful sunny day. So we do know that. So Cynthia, tell us a little more about what you've been doing lately and your career, what you've been doing.
Well, this year has been interesting for me because I started getting back into doing films. I was kind of like when I came into this year, the past 2 years I've been focusing on doing a lot of seminars, and I was thinking maybe I might open up a studio, and then in January I did a movie called White Tiger in Thailand with Don the Dragon Wilson. And came back, and then I got another offer to do another movie, which was called Santa's Summer House, and this probably is up there on, like, one of my favorite characters. It was a Christmas family movie, no action, but I was in it, Daniel Bernhardt, Gary Daniels, and Kathy Long, and the director just loved us, and he said, I just want to show that, you action people, like, that you can act and that you really have soft hearts. I want to put you in this nice little Christmas movie, and I'm a big Christmas buff, so I was like so excited, and I was supposed to play another part, and I didn't think I could do it because of scheduling conflicts, so I turned it down, and then it opened up. I could do it, so we called him back, and he said, oh, we already cast that part. And it was funny because when I was reading the script, I told my daughter, I said, I want to play Mrs. Santa Claus so bad. And she's looking at me like, are you kidding me? And I said, no. I said, but they would never let me play that part. But I was like, God, I would love to play that part. So they go to me, well, we cast that part, but would you be interested in playing Mrs. Claus? And I was like going, yes,
really?
I'm doing it. So Christopher Mitchen played Santa Claus, and he was like, well, there's nothing wrong with having him have a younger, more hotter kind of wife. And I'm like, yeah, this would be great. So I loved it. The film was very cool. And then he just called me again. I just shot another film for him, which was pure acting as well, Badass Showdown. And that's not, where I want to go. Of course, I want to do the action, but it's nice to be recognized. You can't act, because I felt like he could have got anybody for this last movie, So it made me feel good that he liked my work from Santa's Summer Home.
Well, it's good to get your face everywhere. People know you from that, but why shouldn't they know you from other things you do? Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on that note, Cynthia, just for our listeners that maybe some of them don't know, maybe they're living on the rock, I don't know, but your background it spans beyond martial arts, beyond film. You've also done a lot of television as well. You were in the Dukes of Hazzard reunion, from what I understand.
Yeah, that was a television movie that they did. Right. Oh, I guess, I don't know. I think we've done that. Let's see, my daughter wasn't born, or was she born? Yeah, she was. So, I don't know, I guess we did that one, probably the reunion movie, maybe about 6-7 years ago. And I did an episode of Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. And I also did a reality show called Faking It. And that's kind of it as far as TV goes. The rest was just basically, films that went direct to TV.
That's a little more than I did. I think it's a lot.
Yeah. And Cynthia, if you don't mind me asking you this, there's been a rumor going around Hollywood, for the past couple of months, with the Expendables coming out, Expendables 2 coming out, that it was being tossed around. They were going to do an Expendables, but with females, an all-female cast. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they were throwing the names of Sigourney Weaver, Gina Carano, and your name came up a number of times. Do you know anything about that?
I know there's a big campaign out there on Facebook, because I have 5 different Facebook pages, and a lot of fans got together, and I had the New York Daily Times contact me and the Philadelphia Times, and I've talked to some people, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I would say I'm not in it, but I hope to be. So I'm hoping.
You should be.
We gotta get hold of people then. That's all.
Huh?
Yeah.
We gotta get hold of some people then, and start making them write in some more letters. That's all.
Exactly. That's what I need. So I know one group of people know of me, so I guess the other group. So I don't know. It seems like now they're doing 2 different movies. It seems like the one Adi Shankar is doing, and then there's one that they're doing called The Expendables, where I guess they got the women from Clueless. So there's 2 different ones coming up, but same kind of theme.
Well, I think you should. If they put this together, if they don't tag you on this, then I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
I know, me too. I keep thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is I thought I should have been in The Expendables too. I was like, they had that other woman in there. I was like, are you kidding me? I would have been perfect in there. Not to toot my own horn, but just that with, I came up with all those guys, all the action guys, and they really didn't have an action woman, But, we'll see. I'm trying, and I'm hoping, all my fans are out there trying and rooting, and I know someone is like, well, I'm going to try to get you on Howard Stern, So I don't know. So, maybe some of this buzz will get to some of them, and they'll say, hey, this might not be a bad idea to use her.
Well, now that we know about it, we're going to be speaking about it, right, Alan?
That's right, and I say at my event, let's get a petition up, and we'll send it right to Hollywood after my event. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is our 13th year, and I always call you my lucky charm. You've been there from day one.
Yeah.
And this year we're planning for some bigger things and better things, and I actually have to call you my talent agent also, because Cynthia is the one that every year she tries to get me some new talent to come to the event, and I got to thank her. So far we get some great lineups, and we're still working on some others, and I always thank her for your help, because we've been friends now for about 20 years now, and you've always come through anytime, you were able to, let's just put it that way, and you did. So
yeah. So I'm happy because, I know these people, and they're wonderful, and I just know, that they would fit right in there because, you have the best martial art event, and I know that they would be so excited to go there, and the fans are so great there.
Well, Cynthia, what did you say? I missed that.
I said, I always like to try to get people to come, that haven't been there.
I meant when you said I had the best martial art event.
Yes, you have the best martial art event. And I have to say, I have one with Louis Velazquez, and I still say, no, Alan's got the best martial art event.
Wow, we try. Even with Eric, I've been trying to help Eric along since he started too, and he's a good kid. And you're always going to help people, and that I think that's the point that a lot of people miss in the martial art world. If you don't help each other, you're going to get nowhere.
Exactly. And you know what? Yeah, it's like, and you know what? There's nothing. You just tell the truth. Alan has the best event. People say, well, I want to come to your event or Alan's. I'm like, well, I'd love for you to come to my event, but Alan's is going to be grander. All these people are going to be there, so go to that one and then come to ours too.
Well, we get 6 months apart, so it gives everyone the time to say their money either way,
Yeah, but it is. I tell you, I look forward to that event every year. I've loved it from day one. It's such a fun time. I mean, you get so many celebrities and great martial art masters in one place at the same time. Never, So it's a big party, and everybody that goes, all the action people, the celebrities, they're so nice that they're just so nice to take the time with all the fans, and take pictures and talk to them and, dance with them at the parties and stuff. It's just like the best time, and it's like the best time, January. You start off, the new year, with a great event.
Well, I try to make it that. Now that's why we put that wine and cheese party together, and I think that was like such a phenomenal idea just to put that to the martial artists. If we have a night, you can just come, hang out. You don't have to come fancy. You can come fancy. Do whatever you want. And that has worked out so well because they're doing it formal, but now I'm giving everyone 2 nights that they can do one or the other or both. And
right.
I'm getting great reviews on it.
I have to tell you, I already have like about 20 requests for a dance at the event. So I was like, oh, okay. I can't wear my high heels. Huh?
You better get tips for that one.
Tickets, right? We can make a lot of money with that. On dances, right? That'd be cool. Anyway, Cynthia, go on.
No, I was just going to ask you because I know we'll start taking callers in a little bit, but I want to ask you what brought you to getting involved in films? Because you went from being a martial artist. When was that turning point, that opportunity that opened up that you got involved in the film industry?
Well, when I got involved, I was really concentrating on competition. I had a goal that I wanted to be undefeated in form for 5 years and then retire on top. So that was in my mind, and it was probably about my 3rd year that I was number 1, and I was on the West Coast demonstration team with Ernie Reyes, and Paul Maslick was the editor of Inside Kung Fu, and he called Ernie, and he said, hey, there's a Hong Kong company here, and they're looking to cast a Caucasian Bruce Lee. They want to get a guy and try to bring him up as like the next Bruce Lee. And Ernie said, well, what about the girls? We have Cynthia, we have Belinda, we have Margie. And he goes, well, yeah, you can bring them, but they're not really, looking for a girl. So we all went down. We went down to Heel Cho Studio, and they had us all do form, weapons, some fighting, and some self-defense techniques. And Corey Yoon was there, and they said, well, we're going to sign you. So they signed me, and that's kind of how it all went. So when I went to Hong Kong, did my first movie, was Yes, Madam with Michelle Yeoh. I thought I was just going to do this one movie, and then that's going to be it, And I was thinking, wow, maybe I'll get my picture on a poster, and someday I could show my children, look at your mom did a movie, So I just thought it was just one of the little adventures I was going to do in my life. And then after I did that movie, it became a big hit in Hong Kong, and right away they asked me, to do a second one. And at that time, it was my 5th year in competition because it took them actually 2 years to get it together. And I did 5 years in a row, undefeated in form. So I said, you know what? It's a good transition. I'm going to go into another film, and I like this, and I think this is, where my career is going to transition to now, is doing films, because my competition days, I've, retired from that. So it was just the perfect timing for me to go into film. So, I was lucky. That's how that all happened.
Well, it's funny if you didn't go to that screening or that audition, because you didn't know whether you were going to get a part or not. You were just rolling the dice.
Oh, we didn't even think we were because we knew they were looking for a guy, So we just went in and just, and it's funny because I tell people now, I tell them when they're interested in acting is sometimes if you get in there and you are really good, you could change the people's minds, One time my daughter, they were doing Alice in Wonderland, the play, and she wanted to be the Queen of Hearts, and she was 5. And I said, that's going to go to an 8th grader. I said, you're not going to get that. She goes, I want to do the Queen of Hearts. So I told her acting teachers, and they said, no, she should go for Alice. And they said, she wants to be the Queen of Hearts. And they're giving me a look like, that's not going to happen. So anyway, I said, well, okay, go ahead. So she went in there for the audition, did the Queen of Hearts. She wowed them so much that they added a part for her as the mini Queen of Hearts. Really? So she followed the big Queen of Hearts around like a little mini-me. And it was great. So, I always tell people that sometimes – you can change people's minds, you know what I mean? And you just got to have the confidence and the faith and just go in and do your best. And, you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, it's all about faith. All about faith.
Yep.
So, Alan, what were you going to talk about with Cynthia before I rudely interrupted you?
Nothing. I've been, again, I know. So, matter of fact, we're going out to Arizona soon, aren't you, Cynthia?
What's that?
John Pellegrini? Aren't you going to John Pellegrini?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be out there with you also. I'm flying out. I know Bill's flying out. Bill Wallace too.
Oh, good.
They're bringing us 3 out.
Yeah,
so,
that's going to be fun. Well, actually, Friday I leave. I go to Costa Rica. I'm doing an adventure trip, and I get back on Halloween. And then I do a seminar with Eric Lee. He's doing a Tai Chi seminar, and then I'm off there. And then from there, I come back the next week. I'm off to Prague for a demonstration in a Voodoo Gala show.
Wow.
I know. And then I think December is free. I think I can rest for December. My mom's going to come out, and I think December is actually, I think until I go to your event, I have like pretty much 2 months there. So it's like, wow, I can clean my house.
Okay. There you go. Well, yeah, the thing that I like, about my event, Don and I were speaking just the other day also. He goes, when I come to my event, he goes, I meet a lot of people. He goes, a lot of the travel that I've done is from people I meet at your event. And I said, Don, that's what my event's all about. I said, it becomes a showcase for everybody. It's not just a matter of who, what, when, and where. I mean, I myself became, I don't want to say noticed in the martial art world because of my event. Mm-hmm. And I try to give back to people and everything I do. And it worked out very well for me. And I just say, listen, if it works out for the people that come out to me and they're able to come off and do something special on their own, isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
Don always laughs. He goes, I owe you a lot of money, Alan. I said, well, Don, you'll pay me one day. I said, who knows?
Yeah, it's true because, anything could happen there because there's so many people. You have celebrities that could see a talent and say, hey, I'd love to use you in the next film. You have directors and producers that come and that say, hey, yeah, give me all your information. Yeah. You have masters that, see some of the seminars, because everybody does all the seminars that everybody has the advantage to take, and they say, hey, I want you to come to our school, I mean, there's so many opportunities, and just even to, get in touch with other associations and schools. It's, has so many advantages for people to attend.
Well, we have a lot more countries coming in this year, so maybe when we get you to a few more countries this year. Mm-hmm. And about 8 new countries coming in. So I said, well, guys, there's plenty of people here to meet, so hopefully that's going to happen for everybody, too. And I know you're working on the traditional line with Don also. How's that working out? I know
that's working great.
Right?
That's working great. They just had, they'd had a 1-year anniversary party, and they keep adding more and more different clothing lines, and right now I have 4 T-shirts with them. Mm-hmm. And coming out with a new hoodie, which is great, and
cool.
They're doing really well. I love the shirts. They're good quality. They don't wrinkle. So it's fun and it's nice working with James and Don. Because as they're just like great people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Don's a great guy. Because I'm working on a line of T-shirts too, which I'll tell you back off the air, but. Don said, I want to be involved. Don, how could you be involved with my line of T-shirts? He goes, no. He goes, I want to be involved with it. I said, okay, Don, no problem. So you know. But Don, I know you've been friends for 100 years with him too, and he's one of the most honest guys you're going to want to meet out there, and good people to work with. So.
Oh yeah, and it just goes to show you, how everybody. There's no competition. There's no this and that. You know what I mean? It's just like. You do everything for the love of it, and nobody has, well, I won't say nobody, but I mean all of us and that come, as your group and family, whether it's, actors, fans, friends, are all, really, really good people and always trying to help everybody else out if you can.
There's no reason to compete. There's so many people, If you're just competing in our industry with over 25 million martial artists, it's a little ridiculous. So, only out there for everybody.
Well, can't we all just get along? That's the big thing. Can't everybody just get along?
Well, at Ellen's event, you can, yes.
Everybody all hold hands. Kumbaya. That's what happens. So, Cynthia, I have a caller that has a question for you. I have Sean from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
Okay, Sean, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Cynthia is right there for you.
Okay, hi, Sean.
Hello, Cynthia. I have to say, my first movie I saw with you in was China O'Brien when I was about 12, 13 years old. But there was
and I was like 14.
rumor.
No.
But recently there was a rumor going around before they started the whole Avengers thing, with Marvel Comics and everything. Was it true that you were up for the role of Black Widow instead of Scarlett Johansson?
I never heard that. Nobody told me. I mean, I wish I was, but I would have loved to. But I haven't heard that one.
That's what a friend of mine told me. And it's like, Cynthia Rothrock was up for it and everything. It's like, I can see her playing that. Yeah,
I could too. But I don't think so on that one. But I would have loved to.
But are you going to do another China O'Brien movie, or?
We talked about that. We would actually love to, because when we shot China O'Brien, we were all just like new. We didn't even know much about acting or, and it was such a popular movie all over the world. And, we thought, well, let's do it again, but let's do it more modern day, nitty gritty, a little bit, really good, strong action, little darker, and, we tried to inquire about the rights, but right now I think they're owned by Warner Brothers, so it's kind of hard to get the rights. But we actually would love that. Actually, I talked to James Wilson about it, and we were trying to see if we could do that, because I think it would be good for all the old fans that loved the China O'Brien series, and then all for the new fans that never even heard of it,
Yeah.
So we're trying, but it's hard sometimes when you don't own the rights to actually get them.
Yeah, because I loved the movie. I was waiting for part 3 to come. It's like, when's it coming?
Yeah, well, that was funny. We shot those 2 movies at the same time, and we shot them in 6 weeks, and we never knew what movie we were doing. It's like, oh, we're in the office here. Okay, do the scene from the second script. And like, well, wait a minute. We don't even have the second script with us. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Come on. Like we were like, so it was very hard for us, for me actually too, as a novice in the film industry, to shoot scenes that I didn't even like have my script there, because we were only doing the first one, and there's like so many funny things like this. Remember the parade in that? Well, Fred Weintraub, who was the producer, just stuck us in the parade and didn't tell anybody. And they put a sign, China O'Brien for what was it, for sheriff, right? And the radio announcer's going, and here comes China O'Brien for sheriff. And everybody just went with it. So there's a lot of like funny things. The party was like a craft service for us. So it was a very interesting, lot of stories about that film.
But please, Cynthia, do me a favor, would you?
Mm-hmm.
Knock on Sylvester Stallone's door and say, I want to do Expendables 3.
Yeah, I know. Well, come on, you do it. Everybody do it. Just I keep thinking, if the company gets bombarded with emails, that they have to take a look at it. But the interesting thing is, he knows who I am, because I was signed to do a picture with him. Back in the early 90s, it was called The Executioner, and it never went. So, he knows me, and I feel, I could do still everything I did back then, and sometimes you're looking at yourself, as the times change, you go, well wait a minute, my style is a little nicer now, than the big shoulder pads and the poofy hair.
Well, Cynthia, do you have an email we can give to the audience by any chance? Do you have an email to Sylvester Stallone or someone else there we can send emails to?
Yeah, I definitely can get it. Actually, there's a guy his name is Jerome. He's from he writes for the Philadelphia Daily News, and he's got a list of different things. I should have him post it. And sometimes, if you go to my Facebook site, it's Cynthia Rothrock. It's the one with the little wolf on. That's my main one because they have 5 of them. He'll post things where they'll have comments of who you would like to see in it. So he'll post that so people could go post to that. But I don't want to do it because I feel funny. I don't want to do it and say, hey, yeah, come on, do this for me. But you know what? If you guys do it, then I would so appreciate that so much.
Well, Sean, you have a mission. You have a mission, Sean. Your mission is to
I'm on it.
Cynthia, do this. Spread the word, coast to coast, continent to continent. Make it happen. Cynthia needs to be in the Expendables. You need to make it happen, Sean. Do it.
I'm going to make it happen.
Okay, Sean, so now it's on you. You have to knock on Stallone's door.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Actually, I agree with him. We had nothing to do with it. Because I just got taken on with the Arnold, so I may have a time to have a little dinner with Sylvester that time.
Okay. Well, Sean, thank you for calling in, and we have to take some other callers, but hang on, you're still going to be on hold.
All right.
Okay, Cynthia, we have Sensei Mike from Brooklyn.
Hi, Sensei.
Hi, how are you? This is Mike, also known as Big Mike. I'm a friend of Alan Goldberg's. He knows me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
How you doing, Mike?
I met you at... How are you, Alan? How's everything?
Good.
Cynthia, I'd like to ask you, I'm a fan of you, of course. I'm a retired cop. I like martial law, a lot of your movies. What arts did you train in? Who were your teachers?
Well, I started off in Tung Sido under Frank Chernovich and also Robert Kovaleski. So that was my first style. Then I went and I did Pai Lum under the Daniel Pai system. And then I did Eagle Claw, Ying Jiao Pai in New York with Shum Leong. And then I moved to California to study Wushu with Roger Tung. And then I studied Taekwondo with Ernie Reyes. And then I studied Kempo with Charles Matera. So basically that with a lot of other stuff. I've done a little bit of Bagua, when I lived in Hong Kong. And I studied a little bit in Taiwan. I went to China. I studied there for 8 weeks in Chengdu. So, I'm still training. I just saw a fabulous movie on Filipino martial arts, and I was like, God, I'd love to learn. I like the stick fighting and stuff. So you know what? For me, I'm never going to stop learning. I always love martial arts, and I want to also learn Shen Tai Chi. So it's just for my whole life. I'll still always be doing martial arts and also learning more and more because I love knowledge. In any shape and form. So
you got some resume there with your real arts. I wanted to say, what's your next movie you're going to make?
My next movie, I just finished one called Badass Showdown. It's actually kind of a funny title, but Badass Showdown. I just finished that one. And right now, I don't have anything that is definitely committed. I have a project that's really dear to my heart. It's called The Perils of Penelope Peacock that 2 of my friends have written for me, and I love it. It's kind of, it's a really feel-good type of movie, so we could do it for a low budget. It's because, and it's just I think, people that have read the script said, wow, yeah, you have to do this. And, I think every actor in their life gets that one film that go, oh, man, I'd love to do it. So I think probably we're going to try to see if we could get some financing for that. It's very small, so I'm hoping we could get that one done. And then there's there are 2 horror movies out there that people are trying to get finance for, which I would love to do. I've never done that, and I was just telling the director that just did Badass Showdown. I said, I'd love to be a zombie or a vampire, and he's like,
you'd be good against an anti-vampire movie, sort of like a Blade kind of trilogy. You'd be good killing the vampires with kung fu and other weapons.
Yeah, but I want to be I want the makeup. I want to be a zombie. I want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be a vampire. I don't know. I just like all that stuff. So, and I'm a big horror fan, so I like that. So I would love to do something like that. And then there's someone else that has another project, Mark Grove's Rogue Space, which is a sci-fi one. So you know what? There's a lot of things out there, but the problem is the financing, getting the financing to do them.
You got to get Seafood Goldberg behind you, and you can make the God Squad 2. I think he knows which movie that is. How about that, Seafood? The God Squad 2.
Daily news spread, baby. Daily news spread. Okay.
Cynthia, thank you so much, and God bless. All right,
thank you. Thank you. Bless you too.
Bye-bye. Do we got Papa Son on the line?
Okay, we have Alan Woodman on bringing him on. He has a question for Cynthia.
All right. I'm also trying to get Papa Son on there if you have him online there too.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Hey, Cynthia, Alan, how you guys doing?
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan, how are you, buddy?
How you doing? I did a small part in Cynthia's movie where she kicks me really hard.
And tell them what your part was. Tell them who your part was.
Artie One Eye. That's right, Artie One Eye, your favorite. Now I'm sitting here actually with Frank Dukes in his office out here in Seattle, Washington. I'm on the last part of my little tour that I had here. I'll be heading back to PA. I just wanted to say hi. And I'm here with Grandmaster Hud Huddleston and Frank Dukes and myself. We're all listening to the show. And,
tell them I said hi.
Tell everyone for me.
Cynthia, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to hear you. And Grandmaster Huddleston, say hi to your wife for me, please, and give her my best.
Well, thank you.
I'll be in Europe around the time you are.
What's that?
I said I'm going to be in Germany, I think, right around the time you're going to be in Prague.
Okay, I didn't hear that. You got to get close to the phone.
Frank was saying he's going to be in Germany the same time you're going to be in Prague. You guys should.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh. Well, I'm in Prague for a week, so if you get a chance, come over and say hi.
I just wanted to wish everybody well. Alan, I'll be at your event, so will Grandmaster Hud. Maybe we'll tag. Maybe Frank. We can rope him into coming too.
Get that big rope for Frank. Got to bring him in.
He's right here. He's right here.
Hey, Alan, how you doing?
Hi, Ross. How you doing, everybody? Everyone's good?
Good. Yeah, I got a chance to show off my digs here.
Good deal.
All right, guys. Well, I'm trying to get
you.
Papa on now because he's our co-host for the night, so let's see if we can get him on.
Yeah, we were going to bring on Papa San. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have your special co-host, Soki Papa San Tanti, coming on the show, and then we have another couple of callers. So just hang on, and we're going to be right back.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
Audience, say it with me. Legendary. It's going to be 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 legendary.
Action Martial Art Magazine, January 25th, 26th, Hall of Fame, right at the Tropicana Hotel. Be there, bigger, better than ever. The ultimate martial art event, the biggest martial event in the world. Tropicana Hotel. You can contact me, 718-856-8070, or go to our website, actionmagstore.com.
DDP Yoga. It ain't your mama's yoga.
Over the last 12 years, I developed this amazing program I now call DDP Yoga, specifically to strengthen and heal my own body. It's the only reason I was able to wrestle in the ring well over 15 years and 3 world championships. And now, I want to bring this amazing workout to you, and it will change the way you think about the word yoga. DDP Yoga is all about zero impact, kick-ass cardio, increased flexibility, and core strength conditioning. It's like nothing you have ever seen or done before.
DDP Yoga. your mama's yoga.
Yo, it's me. It's DDP.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has decided to award the Sveriges Riksbank Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel 2012 to Professor Alvin Roth at Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts, USA, and Harvard Business School, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, and to Professor Lloyd S. Shapley at University of California, Los Angeles, California, USA. And the Academy citation runs for the theory of stable allocations and the practice of market design.
This year's prize in economic sciences is about economic engineering. It's about how to practically design certain markets so that they work well.
Of course, it sheds a very bright spotlight on the work that goes each year, so that's a good thing. You know, my colleagues and I work in an area that we're calling market design, which is a sort of a newish area of economics, and I'm sure that when I go to class this morning, my students will pay more attention than they...
You're listening to UCW Radio, in your face.
All right, we're back on the Action Martial Arts Power Hour, and we're here with your host, Alan Goldberg.
Here we go.
Our great guest, special guest, Cynthia Rothrock, the Lady Dragon. She's fierce. And now we're going to bring on Alan, your special co-host, Soki Papa-san Canty. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you guys? And you, Cynthia?
Oh, hi.
What's
It's
up,
been
my
a
brother?
while, but glad to talk to everybody.
How you
Alan?
doing, Pop?
I'm doing
How you been?
fantastic down here in Atlanta.
So tell us what you're doing down there lately, and you have any questions for Cynthia?
Well, about 9 years ago, I moved down here. No, but I have a statement that I want to say about Cynthia. She has been, over the years, although she became famous, she didn't forget the little guys like myself and you. You know, I judged the tournaments. She's also competed in my tournaments. So it's been good over the years. And when I moved to Atlanta 9 years ago, I started teaching and again working with kids and writing. And since that time, I've written 2 books: Help the Bear, A Roadmap to Grand Mastery, and The Red Book of Wisdom, The Musings of a Man. Those 2 books are on sale at lulu.com. I'm right now in the process of completing my 3rd book, and this is going to be a masterpiece because this is my autobiography. This is a complicated man explained. So that's what I've been doing since I got to Atlanta.
Well, every time I get my co-host on, we always talk about my little pet peeve is a doctor in the house. You got anything to say about that, Bob?
You know, I've only known one real doctor in the martial arts, and that was Dr. A. Jose Jones from the D.C., Maryland area. He's an oceanographer. But back in the 70s, he was involved in a group that we used to do tournaments up and down the East Coast, and we'd ride together. And from the north, I would ride with Fred Hamilton, Bill Richardson, Joe Gordon, Greg Kearney, and we would all get together and take buses down to D.C. where we compete in tournaments against Dennis Brown and his people, A. Jose Jones people, and those guys had big tournaments back then. I gave a tournament in New York City called Papa San's Martial Arts Classic, and that was one of the largest tournaments in Brooklyn at the time. And then the Yin Yang tournament came out afterwards. But that's where I first met Cynthia.
Right, I was just going to say, I remember all those tournaments. I used to every weekend, either a Saturday or a Sunday, or both, you know, competing. Yeah, I remember Dr. Jose, and oh my goodness, yeah, brings back so many good memories. So glad to catch up with you again.
Well, I'm just like you. I'm busy all the time. Right now, I'm working with kids at a recreation center. I'm the director here, and I'm usually working Monday through Friday from 1 to 9.
And believe me, that keeps me busy. I go to school in the daytime trying to clear problems that kids might have in my program. And if I had kids that come in the evening that need tutoring, I help them tutor also.
Very cool. We got any, Lou, we got any callers on the line? Questions for anybody?
We do. We have Soki White. Welcome to the show, Soki White.
Hello. How's everybody doing? How are you, Alan?
Good. Pleasure.
Good. Cynthia, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Cynthia, you probably don't remember me, but at Alan's this past event, we took a couple pictures together, and I met you many years ago, and you're always pleasant every time and always take the time, and so I want to thank you for that.
Oh, no, I love doing that.
Yes, and your pictures are plastered over the dojo with me, and everybody want to know, who's that gorgeous lady you have?
Well, we'll have to get some more this year. We can hear your class in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But, Cynthia, real quick, I wanted to ask you a question. The things that I have here, we have a lot of young ladies in our house, and we're we don't artists, ladies, pioneers. And I'm like, when are you going to in New York area?
Yeah, you're going to have to move away from that noise, Soki White.
Sorry?
You're going to have to move away from that noise.
That's not me.
Oh, it's not you.
Okay.
That's somebody else's, so it's not mine.
Okay.
Tell them I'm doing a radio. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Papa-san.
Okay.
Hey, look at Soki Papa-san causing problems on the show.
Yeah, that's some of the kids in the background. We just
they took it down there in Atlanta, Soki Papa-san.
How many people can actually teach a class and be on a radio show at the same time? My God, you're talented.
Life goes on.
Yeah. That's called multitasking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, multitasking.
So my question to you, when are you going to be back in the New York area, perhaps doing some touring? I know you're very busy, but we'd like to know. We'd love to have you out on this end. And
I guess. Yeah, I'll be at Alan's event in January, and then I'll be in the Poconos, the Split Rock tournament with Eric Kovaleski in May. So right now, that's about the only thing that I have scheduled on the East Coast for next year so far.
Okay. And how would we get in contact with? How would I actually get in contact with your office, your people?
You can contact me either at my website, which is cynthiarothrock.org, or on Facebook. Everybody says, well, which one's you? And I'm like, oh, they're all me. Sometimes, though, if you request as a friend, like 4 of them are full, so I won't even get the message. But if you do a private message or something like that, if you ask me a question or whatever, I will definitely try to get back to you on that.
Yeah, she does. I know that.
Yeah.
And I just want to holler out to Alan again. Alan, your event last year was one of the best. I really enjoyed it. I brought quite a few students out, a couple of black belts out. They were inducted. Just want to tell you and thank you for keeping on that tradition. It is so important.
Thank you. I hope you come out again this year. We're going to have a bigger and better show than last year even.
Absolutely. Just want to holler at Soki Papa-san down in Atlanta.
Well, I'm glad you came out to my Hall of Fame, too, so I don't feel slighted.
And Soki White, before
Cynthia,
you leave...
we got to get you to Atlanta for my Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Soki White, before you leave, we're starting a campaign to get Cynthia Rothrock on the new Expendables. So we need your help. So we're pushing stuff. We're pushing things.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Just send me whatever we need, and we'll do whatever we need to do on this end.
All right, we're going to start a campaign on Facebook.
That's what I love to hear. Thank you, Soki White.
You got it.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, guys.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right, so now we're back with the great Soki Papa-san, the radio show co-host and trainer all at the same time. I like it.
I can do those things. God said through him all things are possible, so that's what I do.
That's very true. Very true. So,
yeah,
Alan, what do you? Go ahead.
I just want to say something to Papa San, and people don't realize that Papa San had some medical problems years ago, and knock wood, thank God he's been healthy from that. He had a kidney transplant, and I always go back and I look at him and I say, sometimes we are on borrowed time, but the time that he borrowed, he made it worth his while. So you see, God bless him, he's still doing great for everything and everything.
Well, the funny thing about that, we were on Alan and I and his son. His son couldn't have been more than 14 years old at the time. We were on the Staten Island ferry. And the son looks me in the face and he says, Papa San, you know what? I love you. And I'll give you one of my kidneys. And I broke down crying.
Yeah.
God had a better plan. I wound up getting 2 kidneys from a deceased baby. And that's called a cadaver kidney. So I have 2 kidneys that are cadaver kidneys. And believe it or not, it has changed my life over the past since 99. That's when I got my kidney transplant. 14 years, 13 years.
Yeah. Yeah. My boy's a big boy now, too. He's sitting there. Thank God.
I saw your son today, Alan.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I bumped into him in the street.
Yeah, he's sitting here right now with me in the school. Anyway.
Yeah. So what else do you have going on for the event in January, Alan? You have so many different things going on there.
Well,
and
I added on. I added on. I did a new thing this year with the wine and cheese party. I expanded the room where I'm just thinking like one area, just a bigger dance floor area, so people can have a little more quiet time in one area, and the other side will be mostly for the dancing. Because last year I think people went a little crazy during our dance, the DJing and dancing. So we're expanding that, and yeah. And what I'm doing also this year, I have Willie the Bam Johnson coming in, and he has this new thing with Dennis Brown called Point MMA, and we're bringing that in this year as a tournament on Saturday. Expanding our tournament again, and just more celebrities, more people coming in, and the response is doing good so far. But I don't give up until the day before, so I keep working 18 hours a day on this thing. So we're expecting a good crowd again. Yeah, expecting a good crowd again. And
I don't know how you do it, man. You've been doing it for so long, and I've seen you in action. I don't know, man. I really don't. But more power to you.
Yeah, I tell people I don't know either. I wing it all the time, but I wing it well. Let's put it that way.
But you do a hell of a job, I tell you that much. Now the Action Martial Arts Power Hour wouldn't be what it is if we didn't talk about the doctor situation while we have Cynthia on the show. So the floor is yours. This is your thing, guys. So go for it.
Well, little thing, Cynthia. I don't know if you've been hearing what goes on. I've been approached many years ago through my magazine, which is a legitimate magazine, to people to post that they're doctors and PhDs in the martial arts. Mm-hmm. And I got reference back that it's against the law for them to do this. So me and a lot of other organizations got together and finally, and believe it or not, as of today, I'll say 90% of these guys that call themselves doctors and PhDs in martial arts have dropped the title. What we prove to them is legally, it's illegal. And, Papa's in behind me 100% with this, and Papa always has a saying, how the heck did they get a PhD when they couldn't read or write? So, it's a true thing. And we keep pushing it, but I don't want to say we want to make an annoyance of it, but, as people like Cynthia, you've been around a long time. We're not going to give your age away. Don't worry about that. But you've been around a long time.
Well, you can tell them I'm 32.
I'm 32. Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. I thought you were 33.
And you're 36, right, Alan?
There you go. But, you've been around a long time, and how do you feel when the guy walks up to you and he's wearing, 12 stripes on his belt, telling you he's a super grand master from that, and he's 19 years old? Got to upset you also,
Well,
and we. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of it's interesting because I was just promoted to 7th Dan when I went over to Korea, and they keep calling me Grandmaster, and I'm like, please don't call me that. I am not. Don't call me that. Because I'm from the old school. I think that the Grandmaster is there's one in each style. And he passes it down to someone else, and that's just kind of how I feel. And I don't know, you know what? You're as good as you are. That's how I always looked at it. That To me, I don't even, like, sometimes I'll just wear a plain black belt, or I'll wear my master's belt or something, you know, and I don't know, I don't think, I think it, yeah, like, you know, you get all the different titles because, you know, you had so many of this and go to the other, you know, and personally, I would never do it, you know what I mean, and, you know, I'd like it to be back into the old, you know, traditional way, but I think, you know, I think that people get wrapped up in, you know, like the titles, and then like if someone is a real grandmaster, and then you got a lot of other grandmasters, and they got, well, I'm the great grandmaster, I'm the professor, I'm this and that, you know. Should go back to the old way that there was like, you know, the grandmaster of the system, 10th on, and then everybody goes down to him. But I know I keep telling Eric, I was like, don't call me that. I'm not, you know. So I am a traditionalist at heart.
You have paid your dues. You have paid your dues, and what Alan is saying is that there are guys out there calling themselves grandmaster and doctor.
Yeah, well, you know what the sad thing is,
and they haven't paid their dues.
The sad thing, anybody could do it these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, someone could go, you know, get a black belt certificate made. They could get a, you know, whatever. And you know what? We just, you know, I think it's great, you know, Alan, because this we don't really have any kind of governing body that says, you know, that you can't do that, because people that shouldn't have that title and that are going around with it are just fooling people, you know, and it's easy to fool a person that doesn't know martial arts. You know, I remember when I was first starting, someone was teaching me and their fist wasn't even right, but to me I was like, wow, that's great, you know. And it is. It's kind of a shame that we have a lot of people out there under various titles that, you know, don't deserve it, you know. But like you said, I think it's a great thing that...
My biggest pet peeve, again, is the titles of doctor and PhD, because I have the four things I say it on every show, is how could you tell me you can take that certificate that you got and get a job with it? If you can't, you're not a doctor. Can you go off and tell me that you can transfer your credits? Can you find your name on a list on the Higher Board of Education, which is PhDs? And then they'll say, your thesis, is it registered? And then one of those things you have, then they shut up.
Yeah.
You know.
See, in my life, I've gone to school. I have a master's degree in public administration, and I was blessed to be able to go to Columbus this week, where my wife received her master's in business administration from the University of Phoenix. You know, there's a lot of work to be done when you claim that. But in the martial arts, there's really no record. So what my book Help the Bear did was it laid out a roadmap for people who are studying the martial arts to kind of gauge themselves, not to promote themselves. That still comes from your instructor or your association.
Thank you.
But there are so many guys that are leaving their instructors saying, I'm 10th on. You know, we talked about a young man that was at a tournament this weekend, a Goju Styles. I won't mention his name. But he's the 7th on. And the highest copy he knows is Tencho, which is a green belt form. So how can he be a master, a grand master, and he only knows like 4 or 5 katas from a you know, a logical system?
Well, you figure Halloween's coming up, so maybe he can do something.
There you go.
Okay, but listen, Cynthia, I have Anthony Elam. I hate to interrupt you guys, but I want to bring him on. He has a question for you.
Okay.
Hi, Anthony, you're with us.
Okay, hello, Cynthia. How you doing?
Hi, Anthony. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Doing well.
Good.
One thing that we've been, I've called in before with Alan and them, but one thing that we were looking at is the paper dragons in themselves, you know, which is a long, drawn-out subject for some of us that's been around for a while. I got a little policy. I like to stop by and make friends, and I suggested that others done that, you know. But what we're looking at is some of the ladies that's in the martial arts and been here for years and got, and some of the ones that hasn't been here maybe for a long time. But it appears that these guys, now that some of the guys have been stopping by and making new friends, have turned their aggression towards the ladies in the martial arts. And I'm just, you know, what we want to do is we want to confront that, of course, in our magazine, and I know Alan's going to, and a few others. But what would be your opinion
Well, what do you mean they're turning aggression towards the ladies? What does that mean?
Well, they're giving cyber stuff, bad emails or threatening type things to ladies that are in the martial arts today.
Oh, who's doing that? Just people, regular people?
Yeah, well, paper dragons, people that, that's the ones that I'm expecting is because anybody that's a true martial artist isn't going to do that in the first place.
Oh, so you mean a pretend martial artist is doing that?
Yeah, I would expect
well, I think, isn't there a law against that for cyberbullying?
There should be, yeah.
Oh, there is a law against that. If someone threatens someone or they bully them or they say something, I don't know who you report it to, but there is something that people could be reported to because of a lot of the problems that they've been having, with people, like teens getting bullying and then committing suicide. So I think it's taken pretty seriously these days.
I believe it's a federal crime.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would, definitely if someone is doing something like that, I would I would have them report it immediately.
Well, I like to say for the martial art world, Cynthia, I got your back if anyone starts to use, so don't worry about it.
Right.
Okay, everybody, you hear that? So if anybody tries to mess with me, I'm sending Alan after you.
You took care of it.
Good.
But what I'm trying to do is I'm wondering the proper authority to contact, whatever, for the cyber stuff is one thing. Mm-hmm. For anything else, of course, it's going to be your local things, but how to approach it that ladies aren't intimidated by that kind of thing. Because some seem to be a little bit more timid than others, especially maybe some that's just got in, say, in the last 3 or 4 years, and then you got all these dojos that's popped up, and then they end up getting, a little bit of a rough treatment. Instead of treating a lady like a lady, they try to treat them like a chick. Yeah. I mean, what can you say?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if someone came up and said that to me, I would use my words on it, you know what I mean, and kind of make them feel small and, put them down and, not let it bother me because people that are doing this, think about what kind of people they are, you know what I mean? They're not even worth you worrying your time about it, and if they have someone like that in the school, then it would be the instructor's job to get rid of that person, because we don't want people like that in our martial arts schools. Martial arts is supposed to, you're supposed to have honor and respect for everybody, and if someone isn't doing that, they're not truly a martial artist, And I would just say, if someone from another school is treating women like that, that says what kind of school that is, where they're coming from, and you just, avoid them, and don't even pay attention. Don't let them intimidate them, I mean, women doing martial arts, that's one of the best things in the world they could do because they're not only getting in shape, but, they can defend themselves and they should be getting strong and have confidence in, in what they're doing and what they know, and not to let people like that, intimidate them or get them down. That's totally unheard of, so they build up a little more strength and confidence and, and even don't even pay attention to them, because obviously they're coming from a bad place and they shouldn't really be in a martial arts school.
Right. That also falls back on the martial arts school because a lot of the martial arts schools are only teaching kids how to fight and how to go to tournaments and how to win trophies. They're not teaching them respect for one another. They're not teaching respect for their parents. Like I just told you, if there's a problem here at this center, I go to the school and I handle it at the school.
Yeah.
Not at the dojo.
I know it's terrible. Like I said, we have nobody that. Yeah, we have nobody that controls it. My daughter had a friend that was a black belt, and she was in kindergarten. And, my daughter was a yellow belt and knew more than she did. And she'd go, well, what did you have to do for your black belt test? She goes, well, I did a jump spinning roundhouse kick, and I did nunchakus. And it's like, form? No. Self-defense techniques? No. And I'm like, oh, my God, what kind of school is this guy is taking money from people and they're getting faked out, and it's like, what do you do about that? And I always tell people, I say, well, before you sign up at a martial arts school, you go and you watch the students, and you watch the instructor. How does he teach? How does he treat his students? What's the discipline like? And compare it to different schools and get a feeling like I feel comfortable in this school, and that's like the best thing to say, because people will say, I honestly think all styles are good. They all have their advantages, and you just have to find the one that's going to work for you, and that's a big part of it, is going there and looking. And even though you're not looking at technique, you could see how someone holds himself, the instructor, how his students treat him, how the students treat each other. You could see that, and that's probably the school that you'd want to be in, because if one is like all undisciplined and people are like just hitting each other, or like just like lounging out or something, like that's not the school I'd want to put my children in. I'd want them in the one that's saying yes sir, and doing everything what the instructor says, because that's a big part of it. That's a big part of martial arts, is honor, respect, and if you don't have that, I wouldn't go there to that one.
Alan, I'm just going to go off topic. I just have a question for you and Soki Papasan. Okay, these you were talking about the doctors, PhDs, all that nonsense. Okay, these people that are professing to be this, that, and the other thing, and 5 other things on top of that. Now, are you getting that more from the men, or do you have women doing that too?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, there are 1 or 2 women out there, but it's not terribly. And I think with the men, of course, there are more men in the martial arts in the older realm. Now there are a lot of younger women coming into the martial arts. But what I do feel is that a lot of these guys do it just, and let's not even say for money, but they're doing it for their own ego. Mm-hmm. And even when you prove it to them, they still want to fight you. They still want to say, no, I'm a real boxer. Oh, okay, prove it. And, I can prove you're not if you prove you are. So, it's mostly with the men at this point. I hope it doesn't go that way. But we, as traditional or martial artists that have been around for a long time, 40 and 50 years, we are the ones that have to actually govern or look over these things and police it in our own way. I mean, we can't say don't do it, but we can also ignore the people and just think we don't exist. And that's what I basically do.
Yeah.
And Alan, you've been doing it. You've been doing a lot of things to promote that, and you're keeping martial arts honest, and that's what it comes down to.
We're trying.
Well, I support him 100% on that. We talk about it all the time, and we've had roundtables on it. It's just not right that you have organizations that are giving out doctorates, and half these guys haven't even earned a name for themselves. So this is how they want to earn the name. This guy's giving us a doctorate. Let's go to his affair. No, that's not what this is about.
Well, I hear next year they're going to start giving out astronaut documents and things of that nature.
They always have to keep going up and up, right?
Yeah, you have to go up and up. There you go.
Cynthia, the amazing thing is about it, too, many of these guys that use these titles are listening to the show right now. I get emails every once in a while. But not one of them want to come on the air and argue the fact that they're our doctor, because I will just ask them the simple questions, and they can't answer it. So we're not against any. We're not trying to turn the tide and say, hey, listen, guys, you're a bunch of knuckleheads. We're just trying to say, we evaluate what you're doing. Try to think what you're doing to the martial art world. You're not doing anything positive for the martial arts. You're only doing something negative. And, my title, I use Sifu. It's all I use because I don't need anything else. I'd be given every title in the world. But you want to know something? At the end of the day, I'm still Alan Goldberg. Sifu is just my title as being a teacher. And isn't that what we all are? We're all teachers. That's all we are. And students.
Yep. Yep, that's right.
And Alan, time and time again, every show we invite these self-professed PhDs, all this nonsense, to come on the show. Not, again, you said not to attack them, but, state your case. State your case, and then we can address it from there. But we've, the only person that came on, and I have to say it publicly, that I actually have some respect for, because he did come on, was Frank Dukes. Okay, and he stated his case, and we were fine with it.
And actually, Frank and I had spoke after the show, and when I actually laid out what I said, Frank said to me, Alan, you make a lot of sense. I do understand you now. So Frank kind of understood where we're going with it and understands that I'm not wrong with it if I'm able to prove it legally. And he did agree with that.
And that's the bottom line there. Okay. So now, do we have anything in closing, Alan?
No, I just want to thank. I'm excited that Cynthia took the time to be on the air with us. My good friend Papa San and all the callers in. We hit a lot of states this show, so that means people are listening from all over the country. And I just want to say, we just want to build this show more and more for an open forum for everybody. It's not just about what I want to say, but anyone who wants to call in and talk about something and be part of it, we're open for it all the time.
Right.
Okay. And Papa San, you have anything to say?
Inviting me on tonight. I really want to invite you because I feel honored that I'm on with Cynthia because, like I said, she's a movie star. I'm just Papa San.
Oh, no, I'm just Cynthia.
Nah. If you stand on the corner together, guess what? Everybody's going to pass me by. They're going to run up to you, so.
Yeah, but deep down, I'm Cynthia the martial artist.
I understand that, and that's what I love about her.
Papa San, she is prettier than you, I have to tell you that.
Well, I that's only because I lost all my hair.
And Cynthia, just to stroke your ego a little more, I have to say, anytime I've seen you at Alan's event or even doing stuff out there, you're one of the classiest, women or people in martial arts today, and I can say that with all power, strength, and everything, because you've done a lot for the martial arts community. You've done a lot for kids because you've inspired a lot of people. And that is a key thing because for women in martial arts, you are one of the top tier in there. You have the youngsters out there doing their thing, but you kind of paved the way for a lot of female martial artists that are coming up today in Hollywood. So I think
you're a trailblazer, and that's
Thank you.
Trailblazer.
Okay.
Yep.
And all done at 32 years old too. That's the amazing thing, Cynthia.
All right, Alan, I lied. I'm 38.
But you're looking 32, and that's what counts. That's what counts.
Yeah, exactly. It's how you feel. That's what I say. I always tell my mom. My mom's like 77. And I'm like, it's how you feel. If you say, I'm 77, I'm old. I show her these people. I say, look, this woman's 99 and she's dancing in a Broadway show. I'm like, if she can do that, you're only 77. So I always tell everybody, it's like.
Or you look at the lady that's got her foot on the sign.
Exactly. It's all how you feel. It's how you feel.
Like
and if you're going to say, I'm old, I can't do that, you're going to get old and you're not going to be able to do it. You got to say, heck, I could do that. Even if you can't, I can do that.
Everything's a state of mind. So, Cynthia, do you want to let our listeners know how they can follow your career, how they can follow you, Facebook, Twitter? I know you said it a couple times during the show, but let's close out with that so that we can have the listeners back you up. And I have to say this too, that anyone that's listening to this show, I don't care where you're at, U.S., Germany, Australia, wherever you are, you know what? Get out there because we need Cynthia Rothrock on the Expendables, the female version. Say it now, I'll say it later, I'll say it again. We have to do something to get you on there. But, just let the fans know how they can find out more about you.
Just Facebook, Cynthia Rothrock, CynthiaRothrock.org, my website. I have a Twitter that I'm just kind of getting the hang of it, but I have a Twitter thing. And I guess, that's it. That's how anybody can contact me on any one of those.
Okay,
and I do try to answer everybody, believe it or not.
Contact you. We need to contact the guys that we need to contact. Like Alan, you got to get out there and let them know how to get in touch with Stallone, or maybe somebody else in that Bruce Willis, anybody that can help her out, because she's there. She's right there. Her foot is in the door. We just got to push the rest of her body through now.
Let me see what I can do with Arnold. Actually, I'm going to see him maybe in a couple of weeks, so maybe I could talk to Arnold. That'll be good.
Well, I think that'll be a good thing because he's doing his book thing, and he has a lot of stroke, more stroke now than he did before. When he was a governor, when he was a governator, and now he's back. He's back in action. All right, but Cynthia, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been fantastic.
Thank you. And Alan, I'll see you in Arizona.
Yes. All right, Cynthia. I'll speak to you soon, okay?
Okay.
And I'll
all right,
see
take
you
care,
all
everybody.
in January. So long.
Yep, and I'll see you all in January.
Yes, definitely. Take care.
Bye.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
If you try to remember, you will lose. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
All of the fighters that ever set foot on this planet, I'm the only world champion, United States national champion. I'm a two-time national kata champion. I was never beaten in kata. Be proud of it.
The Action Martial Arts Power Hour.